All right, everyone. It's Ginger here from Empowered Body Club. I am so excited to have Dr. Cagle here with us, who's going to share her journey. Dr. Cagle is from North Carolina. Dr. Cagle professionally does oncology research. Today, we are going to talk a little bit more about Dr. Cagle's journey and what it is that she has done to help her overcome some of these debilitating symptoms. So, Dr. Cagle, let's dive a little bit deeper into the symptoms that you were experiencing and you may still experience at this moment. So some of the typical symptoms are pain, all over pain, without having an explanation or really a physical issue that's really going on in that structure. People are experiencing fatigue, brain fog. They're experiencing insomnia. They're experiencing digestive issues. So let's get started with the pain. I have some of the benchmarks in front of me that we had talked about at the very beginning, and you were experiencing leg pain. And I think that was one of your top chief complaints, right? It was 24/7. It was constant burning, especially at night. And it started kind of in that knee area. You said that this pain was at an average level of 7 to 8 out of 10, and it was bilateral. There was a lot of sensitivity in your legs. There was also hip pain. There was neck, upper back, and shoulder pain, along with back and spinal pain. There was elbow pain. You had regular migraines. There was some TMJ, hand joints, feet. I am not sure if that includes pretty much your entire body, but share with me a little bit more about the different types of pain and kind of what the most significant one were and how they interfered with your life and your day-to-day activities.
Yes, you are correct. Almost every part of my body was constantly in pain, 24/7, 365, 366 days a year. And the level, not only every part of the body, but it was the level of pain that was the main issue. Again, like you said, my legs, my extremities were the major source of the pain, the burning, the skin sensation, the TMJ, the neck and the shoulders. I did have migraines quite a bit, but since being on the program for the last 8 weeks, that pain has, in most of the areas, has been reduced drastically. So the TMJ is pretty much gone. My elbows went from like a 4 to 6 to like a 2 to 3. The pain in my legs is still there. We're working on it. That was the worst pain, but I've seen progress, so I'm grateful for that. It went from like a 7 to 8, so now we're down to like between 5 and 6 on an average daily basis. And there are times during the day that I really don't feel anything, so that's good. Before, I would say maybe one day out the year where I didn't feel pain in my legs. So this is great progress, I would say. So my back, my neck and shoulders, much better. Pain levels have gone down. So in the area of pain, I've seen drastic improvements. Although I know I have a ways to go, I do believe that I've come far with it. And so I'm looking forward to the pain levels further decreasing as well.
Super. And so we've implemented the Herbal protocol for about 8 weeks and maybe 2 days now. We have changed nutrition. We have done the foot soaks. We've done the gasotransmitter exercises. We've done some mindset stuff. So quite a bit of changes. Share with us a little bit more about your insomnia. How was your sleep before and what is manifesting now overall?
So sleep before was kind of difficult. It was difficult either falling asleep and or staying asleep. And that was because of the burning sensation in my legs and arms, as well as the pain, the sensitivity in my hips. It would be difficult to lay down on my side because of my hips. It would be difficult for any cover or anything to touch my legs because of the burning. But now at this point, I don't have any trouble sleeping. I don't have much trouble staying asleep as well. And the pain or burning in my hips is much better. I can sleep on whichever side I want to. The pain is there, but it's minimal, and I can touch it, and it doesn't it's not something that will make me, like ouch or anything like that. So it's minimal. So sleep is much better. I don't wake up like I used to in the middle of the night because of pain or either cramps. I used to have a lot of leg cramps or toe cramps. And since being on the program, I've only had maybe 2 or 3 instances of leg cramps, or toe cramps, which is good because I can get in the bed and sit and have to jump out of the bed really quick because I'm getting a toe cramp or something like that.
And that's huge. I remember at the beginning, it was mostly your lower body aches that were
Mhm.
keeping you from sleeping throughout the night. So for you to be able to get to sleep,
Mhm.
because we know how important sleep is, and at this point, I think we're just dialing in on your deep sleep. So you're getting the slow wave and the REM sleep that are really deeply restoring for your whole body. What has happened to your brain fog and your fatigue overall with your sleep improving and also your pain improving?
With those improvements in the pain and the sleep, it has improved my brain fog and fatigue. I have a lot more energy now than I've had probably in a long time. And I mean energy like that lasts throughout the day. And it's not just energy in the morning and then you kind of go down midday and then have to take a nap. And then when I wake up, I may
Right.
have energy. But I usually have energy throughout the day now that wasn't there before. Brain fog is much better. My memory's getting better. My cognitive function is getting better. I can remember things now much better and faster than I could before. I can write something on a note card and read it maybe 2 or 3 times and then actually remember it. Whereas before I could read something, not understand what I was reading after reading it for maybe 30 to 40 minutes. So that's good. I have some still progress to be made on some other memory issues and stuff like that. But so far, so good. So I'm glad that, and I believe that the better sleep is helping this as well. In addition to the exercises and the herbs and all that kind of stuff. So I think it's the total package that's
Yeah.
helping the symptoms. Yeah.
Super. Well, you were able to get a PhD with the brain fog. So I don't know where this is going
Yes.
to take you without the brain fog and the low energy. So I'm excited to
Yes.
watch you soar. In
Thank you.
terms of the energy level, on a scale from 0 to 10, where are you at on average at this point?
I'm probably about between 8 and a 9.
Wow, that's my
Yeah.
goal. That's generally my goal
Yeah.
for energy. So I'm glad to hear that. And
Yeah.
this is
Compared to where I was. Yeah. Mhm.
right. And this is without any caffeine. Is that correct?
Correct. I don't do any caffeine. No
Super.
caffeine.
Awesome. I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
this is what true vitality really is. It's basically an expression of your energy for you rather than, all of your resources being consumed for the healing process, right?
Mhm.
So, very awesome.
Before you move, I do want to mention, so now I can tell a difference between being fatigued or tired versus being tired versus chronic fatigue. Before I was having to take naps during the day, and now
Right.
I can take a nap if I want to. I don't necessarily have to come home every day and take a nap. Or I'm tired because I did a lot in church on Sunday or something like that, and I'm tired. Or I did a
Right.
lot at work and I'm tired. But in general, my stamina throughout the day is pretty upbeat and I have quite a bit of energy than before.
Awesome. Yes, there is a distinction between, being emotionally and kind of in a state of malaise versus
Mhm.
being physically exhausted. One of my patients, he walks 20,000 steps a day, which is
Wow.
about 10 miles, and he's on a weight loss journey as well. And, he gets physically tired now, whereas before he was just kind of constantly feeling this
Mhm.
low energy expression, right?
Yeah,
So that's the
definitely.
difference you're talking about. And so I know that at the beginning we had some digestive issues. How is your digestion functioning now? I know that we've done some work on the digestion. We've worked on clearing some of these biofilms, mucus phlegm patterns. And so, how is that going for you?
It's going a lot better. Progress has been made. Still have a ways to go, but it's going a lot better. Digestion, I've always had an issue with digestion. Since I was little, I've had issues with like constipation, with I didn't know which was constipation growing up. Being taking the herbs and doing the exercises and stuff, digestion has been a lot better. Went from going, 2 to 3 times a week to going daily. And I do take
Magnesium and
my
C.
own supplements and stuff. In addition to what you guys are prescribing me, it's working. And I look forward to being able to wean off of any supplements, getting to that point where I don't have to take any supplements for digestion to take place like it should. So I think
And
I'm getting there, but I know it's a process. I'm aware that I had a lot of biofilms. And when I started, my tongue was white. And so the fact that I can see my tongue now is exciting in itself.
yeah,
And I never had really had issues with GERD or heartburn or anything like that. So I didn't really realize that the bacteria was still coming up because I didn't have heart. I know it's two separate things. The stuff that we think of as having digestive issues is generally heartburn. So I didn't really realize that all of it was related with the bacteria, your immune system, and all that. So my digestion currently is going good. It's going really good.
Super. Very good. And, the digestion is closely tied with our nutrition as well. So, can you
Mhm.
share with us a little bit more about your transition from your previous nutrition to today's nutrition? I know that this has been maybe a challenge for you or a quite drastic change. And how hard was it for you? And what have you experienced withdrawal symptoms? What has been sort of your overall experience in that department?
Overall, it has been a challenge.
Yeah.
I've had to change the way I cook. And when I say cook, I mean like the seasonings that I use. Whereas before, I thought I was eating healthy for the most part, trying to eat clean meat and certain foods that we consider healthy and nutritious. Some of the seasonings, I guess, was part of my main flaw, I guess, issue. I love sugar and I didn't use a lot of salt, but I did. Sugar was one of my enemies. Having to cut back on the sugar, use a different type of sugar, use a different seasoning, salt-free seasoning, because I didn't realize that salt and sugar are both bad for you. I have cut back on both of those. And instead of heating stuff up in the microwave, I've actually bought a toaster oven. So now I'm starting to cook with the toaster oven, still trying to come up with good recipes and stuff like that. And I understand it's a process. So I've kind of, not beat myself up when I do fall or when I do cheat or when I do eat something that's not technically on the meal plan for the journey right now. So, and then like I used to snack a lot because I'm busy. I am a scientist basically. And so I don't get a lot of breaks throughout the day. And so I found myself eating like one meal, but I would snack a lot during the day because I would have like 2 or 3 minutes between a break, a 2 or 3 minute break as opposed to a 15-minute or an hour or something like that. And so I just come and leave the lab, come in the office and get a little snack. And then that will take me for the next few hours and stuff. And so now instead of using a snack for a whole meal, unhealthy snack like chips, candy, I love candy. I use those as treats to celebrate the fact that I'm staying on this journey, that I'm eating correctly, that I'm being mindful of what I eat, that what I eat needs to be nutrition for myself because the goal here is healing. So I have to really think about, is this what what I'm getting ready to eat? First of all, is it cooked properly? Did I heat it in the microwave? Did I warm it in the toaster oven? Did I cook it in the oven? If it's something that's not sweet, or how can I make it sweet healthily? How can I sweeten it, not with sugar, but with other ingredients, so that it at least kind of somewhat tastes pleasing to the palate? Nutrition for me has changed drastically, but I'm grateful. Even though it's been a challenge, I'm grateful and I'm willing to make the change.
Yeah, I have seen you make drastic changes. I remember our first conversation when you shared with me that you add sugar to a lot of different things.
Yeah.
And so coming from that place to where you are today is a huge shift. And, I always tell people, hey, this is a marathon. Your nutrition, you're going to be eating for the rest of your life. So nutrition doesn't have to be black and white. You don't have to, if you think about nutrition, as in 4 slots per day, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then a snack or late night snack.
Mm-hmm.
If you are winning, mostly like 20 to 23 of those slots, you're winning. It doesn't have to be perfect. Your diet doesn't have to be completely free of sugar so that we can calm those voices down that are constantly criticizing and judging us, and build that healthy relationship with food. Overall, what has been the biggest health impact for you? I know that Chris mentioned this and he said that, have you seen Dr. Cagle smile? I have never seen her smile before. So now she's actually having this big smile on her face and we're just excited for you. So what do you think has been the biggest health impact for you?
The biggest health impact for me, I would say there's a few. Number one, like I said, I can see my tongue. The fact that it's pink and not white. I mean, all I have to do is just look at that and say, okay, this is a success story. The fact that I have more energy now, as well as the decrease in the pain levels. I can do things, I can function better. I can do the same activities, but I was doing before and more but without the pain, so I can do it more easily with less pain. Also with the health impact, I now have a better understanding of like the macromolecules. That was an issue with me before, keeping in my mind straight what is a carb, what is a protein, what is a fat, and what is good carbs and proteins and fat. And the program, it breaks it down, what is good and what is bad. And the fact that, you should eat this and this together, and not, which macromolecules you can eat together to have the most healing properties for your body and your cells. So, which is something that that I really appreciate. It has really impacted my health in a good, positive way. So I'm grateful for that. Yeah.
And I meant to ask one question that I forgot to ask when we were talking about your pain. Working together, you expressed that you have this mobility issue and that your gait is affected by this limping. How has that changed?
Before, I could be walking fine, again, while in pain every day, all day. But I would still walk fine, but the pain levels would get to a point where I would have a limp and try to keep my legs straight, because the pain, I already had pain with it straight, but then once I bent the knee, the pain level shot up. So now I can't even put on one hand how many times I've had to limp, because the pain levels haven't gotten to that point to where it affects my walking. I walk a lot at work, of course, because my research consists of 2 floors in the building. But I've also started walking in my neighborhood, and that the effect that has on my knees is less pain. So I can walk better and not try to compensate for the pain in my knees. So I can kind of, I guess, walk properly with my shoulders back. And it's not been as much as an issue as it was before. So mobility is much better. Yeah.
Super. So I remember 2 conversations ago, instead of us talking about this pain and this symptom and that symptom, we actually had a conversation about working out. We had a conversation about abs and Pilates and glutes. And that's a very exciting thing to do, because we went kind of from survival into thriving, and what can we do beyond, feeling well. So what is your current outlook on life and fitness and just your future in general?
Current outlook is great. I can feel that it's getting better, but I can also see that it's getting better. Physically, I've lost weight, which is, it was a goal, of course, but it wasn't, before I started the program, it wasn't, a major goal of mine. But since I've lost the weight, I believe that's helped a little bit. I've lost weight in my bust and in my hips as well. So current outlook on life is great. Like you said, we were discussing exercise, and before I need to do some yoga and some stretching, because I know they say that helps. But now it's like I need to put it in my schedule. So it's like there's more of a desire to do it, because I know that it won't hurt as bad to stretch this muscle or to sit in this position. So exercise, I'm looking forward to being able to exercise with less pain, being able to work out and do some strengthening exercises with less pain, because I've done it before. I've had personal trainers before. Like I said, I've done water aerobics before, but it all was done in a lot of pain. So now I'm looking forward to being able to do more and being able to get my body in better shape because of this journey. So that outlook on life is very, very good. It's definitely looking up. Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful. It's a vicious cycle between working out and then feeling the pains of that workout, and then kind of being intimidated to push the body to that degree. So what happens is they end up not working out, which I completely understand, because they don't want to take a couple of steps back constantly with these workouts. I know that God has been a huge role in your life and on this journey as well. And that you said, hey, I'm praying to God that I find a solution. So can you elaborate a little bit more on the role of God in your life and especially your health?
Sure. Well, God, I wouldn't be here, first of all, if it wasn't for him. Let me get that out of the way. And he does play a huge role in this journey. My relationship with him, I've known him for a long time, but he is the reason that, first of all, I believe that there is healing, that he provides healing. Sometimes it's divine or immediately, and sometimes you have to go through a process. And so I understand that. I also know that his word says that healing is the children's bread. in Matthew chapter 15. So healing belongs to me. It's for me. It's part of my portion because of Jesus. He paid the cost of the healing, of my healing by his stripes. So I already know and believe that I'm already healed. He told me that he was going to heal me, but I'm just waiting on the manifestation of it. So I'm waiting on it to be manifested. Yeah, I do understand that because it sometimes has to happen through a process, I have to do my part. So though I believe God and I say God's a healer and I know he's going to heal me, if I eat the wrong foods, if I don't exercise, I'm not helping. I'm actually hindering what he really wants to do, because I understand that he doesn't want his children to be sick. He doesn't want us to not to be able to move or function, because we're put on this earth to fulfill a purpose for him. So, but if we're sick all the time, if we have chronic fatigue, we can't think straight, or you can't get out of the bed, or you can't go anywhere, you're secluded yourself because of pain, or nobody wants to be around you because of pain, then he can't fulfill his purpose through your life. And so I know that I'm still here because I have a purpose. And so in order to fulfill that purpose, I need to be healthy, basically. I'm just waiting on the manifestation of that healing with the understanding that I have to do my part by choosing the right foods, the right vitamins, the right supplements, the right herbs, doing my exercises until he brings a full manifestation, which I believe will come soon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
I do believe that we all are born with, an inherent innate capacity to heal. You don't have to tell a tree how to heal if you just put around the tree the right circumstances. That tree is going to heal. And similar in our body, we have divine intelligence within ourselves that is going to dictate, it's constantly moving in the direction of healing. That's really what is causing the healing. It's written in every single cell of our DNA. And I love that you have God by your side for this journey. And what advice would you give to somebody who is in the depth of pain and symptoms, and they're going from doctor to doctor, and they're trying treatments and even more treatments for, years and decades, and they haven't really found the solution, and they're nearing a breaking point?
I would tell them that there is hope. There's definitely hope, because I feel that there's no hope of getting better because I've dealt with this for so long. So I definitely know where you've been, but I also have found some hope. That hope being number one in God. This program, I'm glad I found it when I did. It has helped me tremendously, and I look forward to making more progress in this health journey. So, I mean, there is hope out there. You just have to be willing to make the sacrifice to get to where you want to get to. But there is definitely hope. As long as a person is still alive and breathing, there's always hope.
Yeah, I love that. And you have been such a coachable patient. You have been willing to basically take on stuff that were very difficult and challenging and foreign to you as well, right? Like the tongue stuff. I know that was a very weird and odd thing for you at the beginning, and yet you have seen the results, right? You have implemented the challenging tasks, and I've seen a huge transformation in you as well. And I am excited to see where this journey takes us. So thank you so much for being here today and taking the time and the courage to inspire others that are on this journey. That means a lot.
Thank you. And it doesn't always go by the book. I mean, even though you have a plan, I know when you start, you and Chris maybe have a plan of, okay, this is her symptoms. This is what she's dealing with. But every week you've had to tweak it. And every week I've had to almost do something different or add an exercise or, but I've been willing to do it, because even though I'm like, some of them like, okay, I don't really understand this, but I'll do it anyway, because, they're doctors and they know what they're doing because of the testimonials that they already have. So I trust them. And because I've seen such progress, I do what I've been asked to do. And so I do want to give some last words of advice for someone who may not be convinced totally yet. I would not be honest if I told them that this is easy, that, you can just drink the herbs and they taste good. And the gastrotransmitter exercises, that they're pretty easy, but you have to do them daily. You have to take the time to do them. I wouldn't be honest if I would say that it's easy. It's not easy. It does require sacrifice. It also requires a change in your mindset, a change in your lifestyle. It's not a quick fix. It's not something that you can start today, wake up tomorrow and be healed and be, totally pain free or totally functional. It is a process. Like you said, we've been here 8 weeks and I'm not there yet. But if you consider where I started, I've made a lot of progress. So it is possible to get there. Just give it a try. It's worth trying and making the sacrifice for your health. Because at the end of the day, this is all about your health. And this is what Chris and you are there for, is to help us better, not only physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. You kind of target the entire part of the human being, and not only in the diet, but, in exercise, not only one organ, like the brain or the arm or the legs, but the systems of the body, the lymphatic system, the digestive system, the cardiovascular system. So you guys take on a holistic approach, which is what I really appreciate about this journey, is you take on the holistic, you try to treat the whole body and not just one part of the body, because it's all connected. Even though we can't see it, we can't see what's going on the inside. We know that, the brain works with this part, this organ, and the nerves go throughout the body. And a lot of times the pain, they say overactive nerves and stuff like that, but nerves affects every part of the body. So I do appreciate that it's a holistic program. And it is something that what doctors may say is impossible. I think it is possible. I do believe that it's possible to get there. I'm almost there. I'm getting there. I have a ways to go, but I am willing to make a sacrifice. And for those people who are out there, if you're willing to make the sacrifice, they're willing to make the sacrifice to help you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome words of wisdom. And yes, it's important to stress that the program isn't easy. And I don't want to say that it is easy to anybody, because there will be ups and downs, as you have experienced as well. It will not be a straight line to healing. You're going to have a day when you feel like you're back at zero. But really what's important is to notice the dots, to connect the dots and see where those dots are headed towards, right? And if they're headed towards the right direction, then that is what we consider a win, right? Yes, there is tweaking to the protocols, right? We have tweaked, we have changed, and we basically will adapt, because it's never textbook. We don't know what is under the layer. It's like peeling an onion. We peel one onion layer and then we notice another pattern underneath that we did not expect, right? So it is a very customized way of, attacking the body from a variety of different angles. So thank you for making those distinctions so that people can really understand what it is that we do, because it's not conventional, right? Those gastrotransmitter exercises, those foot soaks, those customized herbs with those weird Chinese ingredients and so on. It's not what, the average person might necessarily be expecting to be effective, or to be some tools that people actually still use today, right? We keep an open mind. If tomorrow there is a different way to treat the body more effectively, I'm on that train. I keep my mind open. I'm not married to a protocol, but based on my understanding and based on the results that we are seeing at our practice, that's just what has worked the best. You know what I mean? So thank you so much for believing in a treatment modality that may not be very mainstream, that may be coming or that came to you from the left field, and still investing your trust into this process. And I believe that God is good, and you have been able to reap some of those benefits. So I'm very excited to see where this is going to take you, and to continue the journey together. Thank you so much, Dr. Cagle, for being here today and for sharing your story.
Thank you.